Life is too short for long-term grudges. Great companies are built on great products. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is a disaster. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. You should take the approach that you're wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong. I don't think it is a good idea to plan to sell a company. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. It's very important to like the people you work with, otherwise life, and your job is gonna be quite miserable. As much as possible, avoid hiring MBAs. MBA programs don't teach people how to create companies. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. I have actually not read any books on time management. Education is basically downloading data and algorithms into your brain. The only thing that makes sense to do is strive for greater collective enlightenment. Take a risk and do some things bold. You will not regret it. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell. For my part, I will never give up, and I mean never. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. What makes innovative thinking happen? I think it's really a mindset. You have to decide. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. When you struggle with a problem, that's when you understand it. Good ideas are always crazy until they're not. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop, where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. The tough thing is figuring out what questions to ask, but once you do that, the rest is really easy. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. If something's important enough, you should try. Even if the probable outcome is failure. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. If you need inspiration, don't do it. Nobody ever changed the world by working 40 hours a week. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Life needs to be more than just solving problems every day. You need to wake up and be excited about the future. If you buy a ticket to hell, it isn't fair to blame hell. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. If you're going to create a company, the first thing you should do is create a working prototype. Don't confuse schooling with education. I didn't go to Harvard, but the people that work for me did.